Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in, all of you. We are back here tonight to start our second episode of the Tomb of Annihilation. And I just want to say right now, I did not pick this. I had no foreknowledge or did not receive an oracle or anything like that before we started. But we'll delve into some issues tonight that are kind of pertinent right now. But anyways, before we get too far into it, um, we will do a little a little review from last time, and then we'll say hello to our characters, our contestants, and then we'll get started. So, um, last we left off, our characters had boarded a ship that was on its way to a island called Vostra, where they were set to make a new living. Uh, and as they sailed off into the wild blue yonder, they all met in down in the galley. Uh, and socialized for a little while. They interacted with the captain of the ship, who is named Weiwei, and kind of a big hulking of a guy, would look like a normal captain of a ship, not so much like a naval vessel, but more like just a standard cargo ship. You know, ruffled pants, no shirt. He was dark complected with lots of tribal tattoos all over him, and then he has a emblem that's been burnt into his skin. And so everything was going well, except one night they were overrun by pirates. Pirate Lavabeard uh, attacked and took over the ship and all of the people that were there. And our players were railroaded into letting him capture them and take them. And our faithful captain Weiwei made a deal with him to if Weiwei could beat his best fighter, then instead of selling them into slavery in a mine or some other labor camp, they would go to the Colosseum whenever they got to the place where they're going. The country that they're traveling to is called Cholt, and so Weiwei fights the guy. He ends up winning, and so they're taken to the Colosseum. So a few days later, after they sail, they get to this huge arena, gladiator style arena, and Weiwei tells them that he's been here before. And as they go in, each of them gets a brand on their arm of a Colosseum looking emblem. uh, he doesn't get another one. He already has one. But Weiwei has been here before, and he fought his way out and fought his way to freedom. And he lets the group know that if they go out and they put on a show, um, and the people like them, then they can get a sponsor. And if that sponsor likes them enough, they can pay for their freedom. That's how a lot of people find their bouncers or their heavy-handed men to take care of things, certain situations in this place. And so I believe uh, Val went out with some style and some flair, and maybe some others putting different flowers on their
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
different flowers on their armor and different things, and
druidcraft.
tried to get the crowd in to the show, and they ended up facing off some dinosaurs, and they, along with Weiwei, fought those valiantly, and were taken back into their holding cell. And then they had a meeting. Um, there was a woman that they met. She removed her hood, and they were able to see her face. She was very it wasn't a disfigurement, but her skin was very splotchy. Um, she looked weak. Her eyes were sunk into her head. She did not look well, and she introduced herself as Sindra Sylvain, and she had a proposition for our adventurers. She said that if they won the battle tomorrow, she would buy their freedom, and that she had a adventure with lots of treasure, with lots of glory to send them off on, and left it at that, and said, "Win tomorrow and win your freedom." And so that's kind of where we left off with our episode. And so, just real quickly, guys, if you guys want to go in and um, remind us of your characters, just real quickly, race and any kind of features, whatever it might be. So we'll start with Robert. You can go ahead, and I've been waiting for the voice, by the way.
All right, I'm Kentucky Hawkeye. I will be playing Enoch. He's a tiefling. He's a very blue tiefling. No, he's not depressed. His skin and most of the parts of his outer body are a very cerulean shade of blue. And he is quite an expert with his bow. He'll use his sword if he needs to, but he'd prefer to be out doing other things and having to be forced to fight these kind of stuff because this is not what he signed up for. So he's anxious to get this over with and get it won so they can go back to being something resembling a normal person.
All right. Next, we will introduce the second part of the tension that may be in our party, and we'll introduce Michael. Go ahead and introduce your character, and we'll talk about how they kind of he'll have to try to get along with Enoch.
Yeah. The horned one is going to give me a problem. Yeah, I am Michael, and this is my character's Maximillian. He's a Aasimar Paladin. So he is a Scourge Aasimar, and he is all for getting things right in the world on the side of law and good. And doesn't have much time for foolishness from evil, and is ready to crush it out anywhere he finds it.
And so Aasimar are children of celestial beings.
Yes.
And then tieflings are children of demons, and I guess it really depends on which lore you look at. But they don't like to be in the same room. They have some animosity there, but right now they have not had too much time to get in each other. And next we'll go to Zach. Zach, tell us about your character real quickly.
I'm Zach. My character's name is Ty. He is a human monk. He wields a quarterstaff. He's the one that took down the dinosaur we fought.
Good, nice adding that in.
Yes. He's very lawful and about bringing peace, and he very strict about his view on the world, and doesn't have time for nonsense. So.
Okay, and then last but certainly not least, we have Corey and his character. Go ahead and introduce your character, sir.
My character is by the name of Val Rune. He is a half-elf druid, dirty blonde hair, simple leathers, and he has a warm heart for everyone. He's very charismatic, very easygoing, very. He likes humanity. He likes to deal with all forms of nature. And the greatest creation of nature, of course, are the beings of the world. So he is definitely in awe and respect of the beautiful creations, the millions of creations, these unique butterflies and snowflakes all across this land. Always willing to help. He just wants to experience life. You know, he wants Ty to have a good day sometimes. He wants Maximillian to have his justice whenever he needs it, and I'll help him out with it whenever he needs it. Enoch, and then, of course,
if you get an issue with Enoch or something.
But no,
As you can
he's
see,
a lover of life. He's a lover of life.
And he has been the glue that has held these members together as much as they would like to separate. And so we'll get back into our story tonight. And so you guys, you find yourself, you have been led out of the holding area where you met with Syndra, and you've been led back to a living quarter. You've got there's enough mattresses on the ground, enough hay that's been laid on the ground for you to make a nice bed, all of you, and you have just kind of settled in. You're just waiting for the next bout tomorrow. If you'd like to be sharpening your weapons or doing some meditation or whatever it is, that this would be the time to do that.
I would like to druidcraft. Take a lot of time. Where I'd like to druidcraft a bed, not just of sticks and hay, but more of flowers and lavender. Because in an orange sense, so you can sleep well and have lovely dreams.
Okay.
And I want to spend my time doing that.
Okay, so everybody else is just kind of... Okay, so Enoch is off piling up some straw in a corner and looks around, and he sees a couple beds, half of another being made, and he smells the scent of, you said orange, right? Orange
scents, yeah.
Yeah, and
it brings calmness. It calms you down at night. We're not sponsored by Cincy.
We would like to be, but y'all are getting settled in for the night, and you have somebody come to the door, and it's a barred door, so you can see through it. It's just bars that are keeping you there. And somebody comes to the door and looks at Wei Wei and says, "You have a visitor," and motions for him to come over. Wei Wei gets up, goes over, and stands in front of the door. There's a pause. Guard opens up the door, closes the door, and he's led down a hallway. It's not so far enough that he's not gone. You can still feel his presence. You can still kind of hear a murmuring. It sounds like he's talking to someone, and he stays gone for about 15-20 minutes. And so you guys kind of just sit.
So Wei Wei's gone.
Wei Wei had a visitor. He got led down the hallway. If you can still hear a rough murmuring. If you'd like to try to listen in, you possibly could. if you wanted to go to the door and look.
Enoch, Enoch will
Not
use
interested,
his
that's
stealth
perfectly fine.
abilities to sneak over to the door to see what he can hear.
Okay.
And I will just, I don't know, just kind of listen in.
Okay.
What would you like for me to roll, my friend?
Let's say
Voice in the sky.
perception check.
Perception. Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
And
+5 to perception.
I'm also going to use my divine sense to sense
Do you-
evil.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want me to do perception as well?
well, hang on just a second. Corey,
Sure.
what did you roll?
23.
23. Okay. So, with your stealth check and with your perception check, Enoch, you'll get a visual, and I'll describe what you see, and then Val, you can get kind of a auditory, like
Okay.
what you hear. That if that's, and then what were you wanting to do, Maximillian?
I was going to use divine sense. Now I know that sensing evil, I'm probably going to get pings a lot, but I'm trying to see with Wei, if I can get a sense of the evil or good that
Okay.
he was speaking.
So there's a huge there's I won't say that because a tiefling, you have an alignment, and so what's Enoch's alignment? Is it just neutral? Neutral.
Yes. What are you?
And so I don't know. I'm sorry. And so
Do you want to know what divine sense is? Or do you know what you already know what it is?
I know.
Okay.
I'm just trying to, because he wouldn't necessarily. It's creatures that are evil, not like an evil person.
Good and evil, yeah. You sense
It's
good
not-
and evil.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't
Get anything from me, Nick. Yeah.
No, you don't get anything. In the direction that he walked off, there's no evil pings.
Okay.
Now, there's, if you maybe like 2 or 3 cells over, you get a sense that there's probably someone there who would have that evil intent, that would be characterized as evil, but
Okay.
nothing where he is. And then, so we'll go back to Val and Enoch. So Enoch, you see, you stealth over as he's walking down, and you look out and you see him and a man who's in a long grayish blue robe, and he has a necklace on. And as you look with the 25 that you rolled, the detail of it, this is a matching necklace to the one that you've seen on Wei. And you notice that they do this hand gesture as they walk up to each other, and after this hand gesture, they just start talking to each other. The guard kind of goes and sits back down where he can keep a visual on them, but he doesn't care what they're talking about. You see this man, the bluish gray robe, his hood is down. You see a very tanned human who has like a high and tight haircut, gray, and he has some scars on his cheek and some scars going up his arm. And so he and this other individual are starting to talk. Val, you hear them talking back and forth. He's talking to an individual named Talor, and so they greet each other like they've known each other. and
Talor? How do
they
you spell that?
like Taylor, except it's
Oh,
not. Yeah,
but
Talor.
not.
Yeah, and so he's talking to someone named Taylor. Talor. I was in between both of them at the same time. Talor, and they're talking about a guild and talking about bad news. And you hear distinctly um, the words "death curse."
Okay.
And what was your roll again?
23.
23. So with the 23, you also hear Talor offer to basically buy Weiwei right now.
Oh, okay.
So you've got this. Apparently, there's a guild, and it has sent money, and he is willing to buy him right now and take him back with him. And what you sense is that Weiwei, um, he says no. He
Nice.
says that he's got to see something through, and he does the normal "I appreciate you coming, thanks for the information," and they hug, and they do this, and
The bro shake.
yeah, they like predator handshake each other. And Enoch, you see this hand gesture again as they walk off, and he comes back and comes in the cell, sits down, and he says, "Oh, is that orange? Where did you get an orange in here?" And he goes over and he looks at the beds that you've been putting together, and he said, "If I'd have known you could do this, we wouldn't be sleeping in the hammocks back on the boat."
Well, you know, there's some talents I wanted to keep to myself, but you know,
Yeah, we just thought you could keep milk cold, but I mean, this is
I
amazing.
do have many talents when it comes to nature, and I just thought it would be nice, you know, to have a good night's sleep. And it's supposed to help you sleep, and then for the arduous journey that we're gonna have, and you know, I hear something about a death curse, and it really, man, that's kind of unnerving.
Where have you heard this death curse?
Oh, well, overheard the gentleman talking to you. He said something about a death curse,
Oh, so you
and
were you were listening in, I see.
well, they weren't too quiet, so I have really good ears. You know,
He
nature,
said,
you have to, when you're out in the woods, you have to learn to listen to everything.
I see. He says, "Well, I have some information for you guys if you're wanting to um, if you're wanting to kind of get a read on the situation." Um, and he goes in, he starts telling you about what Talor was talking to you about, um, and he starts out very general. And he says, he's Talor is just a good friend, and he saw him in the fight, and wanted to come and warn him because in between when y'all left and when you've gotten here, there's been a strange occurrence that's happened as far as people know throughout the entire uh, world. It seems like there are people who at one time or another died and were revived or were brought back through magical means, they have experienced this curse, and they've called it the death curse because that's what they have in common. And it basically weakens you. You have these splotches all over your body. You look weak. You look tired. And it seems to progressively be getting worse as each day goes by. He also says that his information lets you know, or he tells you that the people who die right now, they can't be brought back. If someone were to die tonight, a cleric or a paladin, none their revivify or anything like that, it wouldn't bring anybody back right now. There's that magical presence doesn't work anymore. It still takes the spell components. It still takes the everything to perform, but it just doesn't work. And so he was warning Wei to be careful in the fight tomorrow, and actually offered to buy him out tonight. But Wei said, "Now listen, guys." He says, "I want to see this through. I feel like I got you into this mess." He says, "You see, I fought for my freedom once, and I got out." And he said, I became a part of this guild, and you can tell that he's kind of skirting around the details. But he says, I've joined this guild, made a name for myself, and actually fought off Lava Beard and his pirates once, and made such a name for myself that they were out to get me. And so I had to get out of Dodge for a little while. And so I took my ship and went up to Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate and other places, and was making some money up there, trying to let everything die down. And then he found me. I was the one that he was looking for, and y'all were just collateral. And I feel so bad about that. He says, we have a chance to get out tomorrow, and I want to help in any way that I can. And he says, now listen, I don't know everything, but if y'all have any questions, he says, do you even know where you are? Do you know what city you're in? Have you ever heard of the land of Cholt?
I have not.
I believe
No.
Syndra. Is that what her name was? Syndra?
Mm-hmm.
I believe she
Syndra.
mentioned that we were supposed to meet somebody as well. But yeah, that the Cholt is where we're at currently. I don't know what city we're in, but
This is Port Nazanaru. Says this is the largest port, probably only behind Waterdeep, as far as commerce is concerned. It's in the land of Cholt. It's surrounded by jungle, but it is a mecca for trade. And he tells you a little bit about Port Nazanra. And so I can show you guys. He kind of gives you enough of a description. I'll show you guys a map on Roll20. And so he kind of gives you the outline. If you let's see. he describes for you. You're currently down here. You're currently down here in this arena that's labeled 20 on the map. This is the Coliseum. There's a couple different wards. Well, you're currently in the market ward. And then there's the merchant ward. There's the old city. There's the harbor ward. Basically, it's a big thriving town. You can find anything that you want. And then he says, I need to tell you guys something, just in case something happens. He says, the guild that I'm a part of is called the Tri-Toppers. And the Tri-Toppers are bent, and the whole operation is up and running so that we can keep evil out of our city, out of the port, both coming in through the harbor, merchants, pirates, evildoers, and also from the jungle that sits to the south and the west. He says, this is our main concern, is trying to keep evil from coming in and destroying everything that we've set up. He says, we're called the Tri-Toppers. We have an emblem. Our emblem is a Triceratops. Have any of you ever seen dinosaurs before? Except, I guess you saw the ones that you killed.
Other than that, no, I can't say that I have.
Well, in Chult, we have many different breeds and types of dinosaurs. And one that is very prominent in a lot of the culture is the Triceratops. And so we call ourselves the Tri-Toppers. We have an emblem that we signify ourselves by with a Triceratops face. We also have a secret sign that we use to signify that we're members.
Would that be this one? And I mimic the signal that I saw them doing.
Yes, and just so that you guys know, you stick out your pointer, your middle, and your ring finger, and you make it like a Triceratops. Yeah. So that's signs. Throwing them signs. Yeah. So he shows you this. He also tells you that the base of operation for the Tri-Toppers is actually in the market ward. If you find the butcher shop and go into the back alley next to the butcher shop, there is a Triceratops there that only has 2 horns. Excuse me. He holds up his necklace. On the necklace, there's a third, the missing Triceratops horn. You place it into the slot where the missing horn should be. You've got the secret entrance into the Tri-Toppers. He says, I would assume this has something to do with the deal that we made earlier with the Syndra woman. I don't know all the details, but from what Talor described to me and what she looked like, he basically described her. He says, so don't know what all of this means. I'm just giving you any information that I have.
Well, the first thing, it sounds like the first thing we want to do is not to die.
Yes, Enoch, that would be a very bad thing in this situation. I hope that we've got to work together as a team, as a unit. Unity is the key to get us out of here.
Stay frosty. Well, that's a lot to take in. Can I do an insight check?
Absolutely.
See if he is be specific here. Jeez. Hold on. I'm trying to find out what exact, because I don't know. I don't think he's really told us anything we don't really know.
What do you mean you don't already know? Have you been reading the books?
No, from the information you've been saying. From the first episode.
Yeah.
Like Syndra mentioned Death Curse as well, so, so I have that written down on my notes.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. The Tri-Toppers. They're meant for good.
Yes. Yep. They are. Well, is that what you want to roll?
Let's roll against that one. Let's roll against that one.
Okay.
All right. So let me see. Insight check is. I have a +5 to insight. That would be a 19.
19. You get a sense that he takes honor and has shown a lot of pride in being very upright and straightforward. And
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just walk up to him and we all standing?
Sure.
How tall is this guy?
He's about 6'5". I mean, he's pretty tall.
He's bigger than me.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look at him and I'm just gonna extend my hand out to him and say, "You appear to be a man of honor, and it would be my pleasure to." Jeez, I had it. Oh my gosh, it would be my pleasure.
He kind of is like.
Sorry, hold on. This is out of character. Hold on.
If you didn't get it, it was his pleasure.
He's getting pleasure out of something, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The pleasure is yours?
No, it's my pleasure to go on this. It'd be my honor and pleasure to be going on this journey with you. Thank you for saying no.
Ah, you heard that as well, I see.
Yes.
Okay.
I do have one question for you, Captain Weiwei. Is this Tri-Toppers, is this a publicly known guild or group, or is this more like a secret society kind of thing?
It is pretty much a secret society. The leaders of the port know about it. They know about us. They know what we intend to do and what we're here for, and they support it, both politically and monetarily sometimes. We don't we don't keep a lot of individuals in our guild. It's not just something that you can just run out and decide to be one day and get a t-shirt. This is something that we have to make sure that you have to have some sort of connection, or you have to prove yourself, or we have to kind of ask you to join, and we have to know that your heart is in the right place, that you have honor, and that you truly want to see the best for the port and to keep it safe.
Is that who we are meeting? Is it someone with the guild? To find out more information, Syndra stated we were supposed to meet someone in the city.
I where he's I don't know of I don't know who she spoke of. I don't know. I don't know her, and I don't know her connection. I don't think she's in the guild. If she's in the guild, then it's a new member that's recently happened while I was gone off sailing.
Take me away to where I'm going.
If there's anything else I can answer or put to ease,
Well, I will say what's best for the port is not necessarily a good action depending on who's running it.
I see you're a man of great virtue. Um, he tells you that there are several princes that run each district or each ward of the city, and they are a collective council, and they have the people in their ward their best interest at heart. And he also tells you that they want the city to prosper, but prosper in the correct way. This port was taken over by these princes from a tyrant who ruled with an iron fist, neglected the people of the city, and this was actually taken over in a war that happened several hundred years ago. And these princes were set up, prince and princesses were set up so that each ward had, and each artisan had a place at the table, and they collectively try to decide what's best for the city. He says, and he kind of ends with, he says, Max, can I call you Max?
Sure.
I know, I see by the way you carry yourself. I have a sense of who you are, what you are. And I have been a man that's always tried to do what's right. And I wouldn't have joined this guild if it wasn't something that was supporting that belief. He says, if you are leery, I absolutely understand. We would be leery of taking in individuals without testing them as well to see where their heart lies. He says, I'm not asking you to join or anything, but I'm just telling you what I know and how I got that information.
All right.
And he has gone over. He goes, Wayway walks over to one of the orange beds and sits down. He says, "Y'all have anything else? Any other questions?"
Tomorrow, what insight can you give us on what we're going to be fighting? Or do we know?
He looks for a minute. He says, the number of animals and plants and beasts and beings that the jungle has is innumerable. And you don't have to go very far to find them. He says it could be just it's truly a chance, a game of chance to find out what we're dealing with. He's like, I have no idea. I didn't know that we were going to be fighting dinosaurs. It could have been other people. It could have been dinosaurs. It could have been anything. So he says, whatever you need to do, be ready.
And so in other words, we'll be facing the fresh catch of the day is what you're saying.
Basically, yes. Depending on how much they want to test us and how much they might want to get rid of us, they can give us something lightweight or something a little more difficult. It's just kind of, we're at the mercy of the managers of the Coliseum at this moment.
Where's
so-
the guy? Where's the guy that the pirates? The captain of the pirate ship. Is he? Do we know what he's doing? Or did he?
I don't.
We're owned by him, right? Or did
He sold us as
Syndra-
property.
It better be running.
'Cause I'm like,
Wait.
So Syndra actually owns us, technically. Right?
Well, not yet. If she would buy your freedom, she could make you swear an oath of servitude, or she has already offered to pay you 50 gold a piece just for not dying tomorrow and for listening to her talk to her about her quest. So I don't think she necessarily has that in mind. But as far as our pirate friends, I hope they're waiting and they're using the money that they got for us, and they're getting indisposed at a local bar, and I can find them whenever we get out of here tomorrow. But I don't know. There is, if you look on the map of the port, there's a lighthouse. It's labeled 14. Can you guys see?
I don't think we have numbers.
We don't have numbers on ours.
Okay, let me see.
Here, I'll ping it for y'all.
Yeah, I think I know where it is, though.
Right there.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. Okay, wrong one spot.
Yeah, so that, and then we have the harbor master's the harbor master and his office is directly across the bay, and there's a chain that links the two, and so they can draw that chain to keep anything out and anything in, but it hasn't been done for a long time. So technically there's a chance that the pirates could be stopped, but we'd have to convince the portmaster to close the gate, basically.
Pardon me if I ask a somewhat pointed question, Captain Wayway, but if your group is working to keep out the bad guys and the pirates, how are pirates like him allowed in here to sell us off?
Well, Enoch, I can tell you're upset, and I'm sorry. He says, like I said before, I was working at one time, and I thought I had taken Captain Lavabeard in. For whatever reason, there is a group, like there usually is, that opposes us, called the Flaming Fist, and they have some pull in certain areas, and they had him sprung from jail, and he got out, and then he was coming after me. So that's my story. I'm sorry that we don't do a better job at keeping the pirates out.
I'm gonna turn in, so I am exhausted.
Wei lays back on the orange bed, puts his hands behind his head, and says, "Remember, gentlemen, the name of the game tomorrow is Don't Die."
Sounds like a plan.
I have no plans of doing that anytime in the near future. And Enoch goes and lays down. He looks over his arrows, makes sure that the blades are still sharp, so he's ready for the morning.
I'm gonna. What's outside? Where are we at on the map here?
You are. Let's see. Where can I? Is it?
You can just hold down your mouse.
Click it and hold down. Left click and just hold down, and it'll ping.
In here.
There you go.
Okay. Okay.
You're right here in
Okay.
this Coliseum.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I
Boom.
thought we were.
Okay. And so, you've got
Is there a window?
there is a window, just a small opening. You can look up and see some stars in the night sky.
I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna stand next to the window first and just kind of take it all in. The smells, the stars. It's a new place for me, so this is.
Okay.
It's kind of a good thing for someone like me. New nature.
As you are standing there, you do smell the salt water of the bay, and then it changes, and you don't smell the salt water anymore, but instead you smell like when it's fixing to rain, and then it does. Some clouds move in. It starts to rain. Little drops kind of come in the window, hit your face.
I'm gonna taste them.
Okay, they taste like rain.
Whoops.
You attacking me?
No, I just accidentally hit it.
Val is tasting rain, and Ty does not like it.
Whack.
Is it tea or Ty?
Hi.
Ty. Okay, good. Anything else anybody wants to do? Anybody else wants to taste the rain? Taste the rain. All right. You'll get a restful night's sleep, full night's rest. Your HP goes back up to its maximum. You have breakfast brought to you. You sit, you wait. You can hear some cheering. You can hear some booing. You
Already?
sit.
What time is it? Did we sleep in? Is it noon?
No, it's
Early death, huh?
well, the early show is normally not the prime time.
Oh, these are just chattel.
This is the warm up act.
These are chattel. Got it.
It's probably the morning matinee.
Yep, you hear some guy off in the distance with two coconuts making a horse sound as they hear
Just a flesh wound.
a play going on.
That's funny.
You guys, you can take this time and prepare whatever you'd like to. Just let me know if you want to, whatever you'd like to have stocked or ready. But we'll say mid-afternoon, you get a final lunch. It's bread and some bean paste and some water. Val, if you want to spice it up, I guess that you can with your druid craft. But
I'll make the what I made everyone the first time with the gauntlets and the helmet and.
Okay, so you'll put your
this time I add the tri-topper to Max's horn. So now he has not just the one, he has the 3.
Okay.
To kind of give a shout out.
Represent.
Tri-toppers.
Okay.
Just to clarify, do we still have our armor? I mean, we
You're-
don't have our weapons, obviously.
You're going to be given all that stuff
But, okay.
as you enter.
As
Yeah.
mayor, yeah.
Mhm.
And so, after you make your way down, you get into costume. Your weapons are handed to you. You don your armor. You get to the door, and it raises up, and you walk out. There's a crowd that, as you walk in, some of them remember you from yesterday. There's some cheering, there's some applause. You don't have the whole crowd yet, but you do have some people that are cheering for you. So,
Oh yeah, I come out, and I'm like roses, and
Okay.
small gusts just coming from all over us.
okay. And so there's like this magical wind that's blowing, making it a grand entrance, and you have roses that are adorning your armor. You have a triceratops.
And every time I kiss, it's like a. What can I do with it? Hold on.
Rose petals come out of your mouth and flow to the crowd.
Val, roll a perception check.
A percent? Oh, jeez. That is okay. Perception +5. That will be a 10.
A 10.
Rolled a 5.
Okay.
Love
You
the crowd, man.
you see Syndra in the crowd.
I bow down.
With a 10, she's
That
sitting
it?
close. She's sitting close enough. You can see the rose that you made her last night and gave to her. She has that
I
attached
craft
to.
another one, and then I throw it to her.
With a 10, she doesn't catch it.
Oh,
But you do see that she has the one that you gave her last night pinned to her dress that she's wearing.
got it. Nice.
Okay. And so you guys walk out. Can you guys see your character on?
Mm-hmm.
Is your
Yeah, my tokens there.
okay? If I can delete these others and you can drag out, or I can drag out.
My token is still on the front page, by the way. The loading page.
Oh, okay. We'll delete that.
Ready, fight.
Can you bring it? Can you bring it in yourself? I don't
Sure.
see. I can't see, or maybe. Yeah, I don't see it.
Okay. Let's see.
And so you guys should have control over your tokens. If you, the one that's not tokened is Way, and I did not have time to make him one. So, but if you guys I will say that off in this direction, there is. Well, can you see my ping? Off in this direction, there's a door. With something growling and looking kind of mean inside. So if you want to, or if you kind of want to arrange yourselves, if you want to hide behind a pillar or whatever you'd like to do, you kind of get prepared and set before they raise the cage.
Are these pillars? These orange spots?
Yes. Yep. So there's the 6 pillars.
Can you ping the door again?
It's over in this direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in the right spot then.
Where was what's her name?
Oh, she was over here.
Then that's where I'll be.
Enoch will definitely be hiding behind the pillar, bow in hand, arrow notched, ready to go.
Yeah, I'll hold an action to strike with my quarterstaff.
Hold an action to strike with my longsword.
Okay. We will. The door is probably like 30 feet, 40 feet away from you, where you guys are, and so we'll just see how it plays out. If you've got enough movement, you can go up and strike and have a. If you've got a bow, you can ready it and.
If anything comes in with the range of my quarterstaff, I will strike it.
Okay, sounds good. And so you hear an announcer, and he comes out and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen of the Colosseum, see him." And he's holding a speaking stone when he does this. He says, "We have for your viewing pleasure, our defending champs from yesterday." What was it that you called yourselves again? Did y'all have a name?
I don't think we did.
No, I thought we did. Have
I
it.
can't remember.
I can't remember. It'll come to me in a second.
It'll come to me when I watch episode 1.
By the way, if you're watching now, go back and watch episode 1 if you haven't already. He says, our defending champs from yesterday will take on the defending champ from yesterday. And
We're going to be fighting ourselves.
Oh, I could see where you could get that from that. No, he says, the defending champs of the human people. He's like explaining this to you.
He was just kidding.
But the microphone is still catching it all, and he's like having this dialogue.
Funny.
But it's the beast that won yesterday versus you humanoids that won yesterday. Does that? Today. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I understand the concept.
Yep.
Okay. And so this cage opens up, and what you see before you...
I'm going to get Shillelagh going.
Okay, that's fine. Is this huge jaguar-like creature, but instead of having a tail, it has snakes that come out the back and kind of wave along the side like a tail would. So
I drink it in because I have never seen a beast like this.
As soon as I see it come out of the cage, I'm firing an arrow.
okay, Go ahead and roll your attack.
A 19, I hope will hit.
19 hits.
For 10 piercing.
10. Nice. Okay. As you have your arrow ready, it walks out, it kind of roars, its mouth opens, it's making a grand entrance itself. No flowers though, and gives you plenty of time. You take a breath, you let it out, you let the arrow go. It strikes true, hits it. As it does, it lets out a roar, and it looks over in your direction, and looks for where the arrow came from. And with that, we can go ahead and roll initiative. Let's see.
Sorry. I'll change it to
Is there a place to click to roll it automatically? Or?
yeah, you click your icon first, and then on your character sheet you'll see initiative where your armor class.
And click on the word.
Click on the word initiative.
Ah.
There you go. Oh man,
Nice.
we are
Is that
high
what-
rollers tonight.
What did you roll the first time? Because
Me? I
Max,
didn't.
you rolled a 19 the first time.
That was Michael, not Zachary.
Mhm.
So Maximillian,
Right. He rolled a
19. What's your dex? What's your dex mod? Michael.
Hold on. I gotta go
Maximillian.
back.
Should be on.
I think so, +1.
So you rolled 20.
so 20.
Yeah, I rolled the D20, and I was trying to figure out how to do it on the advanced roller instead of clicking on the word initiative.
And what did you get? Did you roll the first time, Ty?
No, it was just the initiative thing.
Okay. And ooh. Let's see. Give me just a second, guys.
Oops, sorry.
Still trying to figure out all of the That's not what I rolled the first time, though. So, yeah. And why is it?
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So, Maximillian, you will go first in our. Oh.
What about Captain Wavy.
I'm fixing to put him in. I forgot. Don't tell him. I forgot all about him.
Wee wee.
Wait! Wait! Well, let's see. Go ahead and let me know what you're. Go ahead and let me know what you're doing, Maximilian, while I'm trying to.
All right. I plan on charging into to try to keep the animal in the quarantined little area there. So I'm going to move up and attack, trying to keep it contained.
Okay, so go ahead and roll for your attack.
All right. Well, it's trying to roll. There we go.
You can also click on your weapon if you have that in there.
Yeah.
But you roll really good, so don't do it.
Don't do it now.
Oh yeah, a 20
Dirty 20, take it.
definitely hits. So
All right. Well, I'll click on my damage then.
absolutely.
Holy
But
moly.
then
Nice.
that's a hit.
That's massive.
Nice.
Next beast.
Don't give them any ideas.
Okay, man.
That's to hit.
Who's the next winner of yesterday?
There was not the next winner of yesterday.
In the stomach of the first winner, probably.
That's a big hit. 24 points.
Okay.
All right. Wow. So we've got an arrow that strikes him. He gets hit. He roars. He looks over in the direction of the arrow came from, and as he glances back, looking forward, we have a huge hit by Maximillian. Just comes in with a long sword using both hands and just takes a huge slash, slashes him right in the chest, and he is very, very hurt. Is there anything else you want to do?
Nope, I'm just going to stay right up in his face and
Okay.
be ready to attack again.
Okay. And so then we'll move on to the Commandant's turn. Commandant. Anybody know the
Kamalama ding dong.
Commandant? We move on to its turn.
The critter.
The critter.
Sounds Italian. Whatever it is, sounds
It's a
Italian.
Commandant.
Ramadan.
Okay, so it is going to look out at the. Let's see. Yeah, so it's going to look out in front of him, and he's going to let out this roar, and as he does, I need for Maximillian to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Uh-huh.
Wei will roll a Constitution saving throw, and Ty, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Do you have advantage? Or wait, how do you take the advantage off?
No.
Oh, we'll do it offline. We'll always go with the left roll.
Okay. Are you sure left?
Yes.
Are you sure left? Because I'm asking for a friend.
That's funny.
As Val, as you and Enoch look on, this gas starts to roll out of. It's almost like he had been vaping, and he's just blowing a bunch of smoke. And as you look and you see Maximillian and Ty have both fallen down on the ground. You can see them breathing, but they're not moving. They are considered unconscious.
Oh no.
What?
It's not good.
Now, do we take damage or is it just unconscious?
You just take damage. You just are unconscious.
Oh my.
Wei Wei is still standing, and that is who the Chimera is going to go for. It's already used one attack to release this sleep breath, and so now the snakes are going to take their turn, and so they will roll for they'll roll to hit Wei Wei. And it rolled a 2, so it does not hit. So the snakes come out, they strike. Wei Wei kind of dodges out of the way from them, and the this huge jaguar-like creature kind of just hunkers down and prepares to take its next attack at a later turn. And we'll move to Val. You've seen 2 of your comrades fall down unconscious. You still got one that's right up in the mix. What would you like to do?
Seeing that, and they don't look bloody at all. They just fell.
They got enveloped with this cotton candy flavored vaping smoke.
Oh, that's the worst. No wonder I lay down.
And they fell to the ground. You can, without having to check or anything, you can see them breathing.
Okay.
But they're just unconscious.
Then, Wei Wei, I'm going to yell at Wei Wei and say, "All right, I'm going to light him up for you next time." And then I'm going to cast Fairy Fire on him.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And I will hit that just so people can see. Basically, each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet light. Any creature in the area spell is cast is also outlined in the light if it fails a dexterity saving throw. And so my DC for spells is let's see here. So he has to do a 13 or above dexterity saving throw.
That is a 8. He fails.
Yes.
Okay.
Nicely, nicely.
Nice.
For the
So-
duration, it's a concentration. Okay, just FYI. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible. So if that creature ever goes invisible, it can't go invisible. So advantage. Okay. We all have advantage on hits.
Good.
Nice. So you now have advantage. You see, what color would you like for your fairy fire to be?
Oh man, that is a good question. My fairy fire is that of the color of my eyes, which is aquamarine.
Okay, so you see this in this magical nature-like gust of wind come through and blow through Val, this aquamarine shimmering light go, and it splashes like a water drop and then covers over this jaguar-like creature with snakes coming out of its butt, and it's just shimmering and shining in this aquamarine glow. It's very visible, and you do hear a ooh, ah, from the crowd.
Ooh, ah, ooh.
Is there anything else you'd like to do, Val?
Stay behind that pillar. Just keep peeking, so for as much cover as I can get.
Okay. So we'll go on to Enoch. It is your turn.
Enoch will notch up once again since he's got a little bit better view now. With our Technicolor monster there. Now he's going to launch another arrow and send another one flying. I assume a 21 will hit.
It will hit, yes, absolutely.
And another 9 points of piercing damage.
9 points.
Light it up.
Now, just out of curiosity, how far is it to get behind this next pillar here? He will use his 30 feet of movement to, just in case, move over here.
Okay.
Not knowing what the range this critter has, he doesn't want to take any chances.
Okay. And let's see. Okay, that's going to put you 50 feet from the creature. I assume that's still okay with you.
Should be good range still with my bows. So
okay,
it's a long bow. So
okay, that's
yeah, range 150.
Okay. We will next go to Ty. Ty, you're unconscious. You are oblivious to anything and everything going on around you.
Can I make a save or anything again? Or?
No, there is no save. There's no save for this.
Go to sleep.
You are not any kind of. There's no kind of magical. There's no kind of magical thing keeping you incapacitated. You are just knocked out. Like it'd be like somebody hit you.
Boom.
Yeah, and so it's not necessarily anything that you can do to rouse yourself. It might be something that somebody else would need to do. I'll leave it at that. And then we'll go to Wei, and Wei will he will stand up and attack our friendly jaguar. Let's see. He will use his glaive, and he has advantage. And so, with a 23, he hits, and he will do 10 points of slashing damage. to this huge jaguar. This huge jaguar kind of steps back as Wei Wei swings this glaive through, and looking around and seeing his comrades fall down, he completely skipped what he was supposed to do, and so for his bonus action, he will rage and have that going for the next turn. But he forgot to this time. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to do a lot of different things at once, and I forgot about a barbarian. Next in the order would be Maximillian. Maximillian, you're still unconscious, so you're just kind of stuck. Sorry.
Dreaming a little dream.
Dreaming a little dream. And then we go back to the jaguar, and he is going to try to hit Wei Wei with a claw attack. He hits with an 18, and he will do 6 points of damage to Wei Wei, and then the snakes will try to hit again. Oh, geez. That's a 24 to hit, and it will do 6 piercing damage, and it will also do, holy smokes, 21 poison damage.
Holy moly.
And
Who?
Wei Wei. So he
Is
took
he dead?
Let's see, that's 24. 27 divided by half is...
Well, I don't know if he's resilient to poison.
No, that's true. That's poison, not the others.
He ain't raging, so it's full damage.
Well, he was raging.
I did rage at the end.
Oh, okay.
He did rage as a bonus action at the end, so half damage on the first two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Unless
I
you
didn't.
took a bare feet.
No, I didn't. So it's the full 21. Wei Wei is total HP is 35.
Oh, so he has to hit him for 70 points for him to die. So
yeah, so 21 and 3 would be 24. So he would have 11. So Wei Wei's not doing too good.
And I noticed this.
Yes, like there's blood. It's not good.
Oh,
I don't notice it.
No, you do not.
Yeah.
And with that, we will go to Val.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, give me 1 sec here. I'm gonna check which one gives me the most here. I believe it is. That would be Cure Wounds. Is I'm going to rush over, jump over Ty, slide down on my knees. This is all for show. Leap over Ty, duck down, slide on my knees right next to Wei Wei, and then I raise my hand up to the sky like I'm asking for the divine power, and then I slam it onto his chest. Like I wait for my hand to glow, and then I slam it onto his chest. And it's like a little explosion goes off. That's all just for show, you know what I'm saying? And I cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. Tell me how
level 1.
much.
There you go. 10 hit points. He gets back.
Yeah, and then roll a performance check.
Oh, okay. Okay. Guys, I'm going to win the crowd for us. You win the crowd, you win your freedom.
If we don't defeat
According
the
to
Anna, what does it
Maximus.
matter?
According to Maximus.
If we don't defeat this creature, it won't matter what the crowd thinks.
Ooh. Performance is a +2, so that's 18.
18.
Yeah.
With an 18, you start to hear, and you hear people like, "What was that? We've never seen it before." And you notice, you look over, you cut your eye over, and you notice that Syndra bends down and picks up the rose that you threw at her earlier.
That will complete my turn.
All right, Enoch, you're next.
Well, I'll shows off to the crowd, and I'll just get back to the regular work at hand, and I notch an arrow, and I shoot another one at this creature that we're fighting.
Advantage still.
Yeah, you still have advantage.
Oh, sorry.
A 23.
23 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
How about another 6 of piercing damage?
6. Nice. This creature is looking very hurt. It is kind of starting to stagger about. It's kind of leaning back and forth. Let's see. Maximillian, roll me just a pure D20 luck check.
All right. I will do that. And I come up with a 17.
Nice. Okay, so with a 17, as it is kind of reeling from all the damage that it has taken, it accidentally steps, and with a 17, we'll say it steps on one of your arms. And so you, with feeling that pain, because it does 4 damage to you, feeling that pain, being injured, it brings you out of that being unconscious state. And so you wake up with this huge pain in your arm, and you see the jaguar right on top of you. And so you're now up, and you'll be able to take your turn next go around if we get there.
All right.
Yeah, do you realize that 21 poison damage would have killed my character, like flat out dead?
Mine too. Yeah.
You're not the only one.
It's been on the borderline for me. It had probably been a little bit more.
Listen, you're fighting the winner from yesterday, so
Of course, yes. He leveled up overnight.
Oh, I didn't tell you. I'm just kidding.
Oh, that hurt.
That would hurt.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
So with that, we'll now go to Ty. Ty, you're still knocked
Still
out.
sleeping.
Still sleeping. With this, I'll just go ahead and tell you that you are knocked unconscious, and if you take damage or someone spends an action to awaken
That's
you,
my
you will be
next
woken
move.
back up. So
That's
I
my
kind of
next
let
move,
it.
is to wake you up.
I kind of let it be a luck thing for Maximillian,
His
just-
drool's dripping on his face.
just because I feel bad because y'all have just kind of sat here. So, but we will go to Wei Wei, and he will try his glaive again. And that's a 23 with advantage. That hits. And it will be, 21 points. 20. And as he does this, is something going on?
Well, that 21, that's a hit roll. That's not a damage roll, I think.
Sorry. Oh. Well, he does 6 points instead.
Yeah.
Thank you for being honest. The Tri-Toppers will send you an invite later for your honor. And is that still? Oh, no. Hang on. This is what I got to do.
There you go. That's a little bit more like it. I have a character that fights with a glaive, and it's like, unless, depending on how
okay,
what you had going on that number sounded high.
So, with that, he takes some damage, not as much damage as what he initially would have, but he still takes damage. And with Weiwei's ability, you see all of these spirit guardians. They kind of come off. They almost like pull off of his tribal tattoos, and basically, whenever he hits a creature or a person, they have disadvantage if they try to attack anybody else but him from there on out.
Nice.
And so that's kind of his totem of the guardian, something like that.
Ancestral guardian.
Ancestral guardian.
It's ancestral guardian.
With that, we go to Maximillian. You are awake.
And I am going to finish this thing off.
Okay.
For justice.
That's right. For justice and the Sultan way, whatever.
Now that you're done taking your nap, maybe you can get a little bit serious and do some damage.
Oh,
That's right.
Tiefling talking smack.
Talking smack back there. That's right.
Hiding behind his pillar, like 50 feet away.
But at least I've been hitting something.
Hey, that might be a miss right there.
You have advantage.
You have advantage because of fairy fire.
So it's 20.
Woo.
That's a 20, actually.
Oh, so it's 20.
No, it's
Okay,
just
yeah.
20, yeah.
It's the 20, sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
so that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
There we go. Sorry, I rolled it twice by accident because it didn't come up the first time. But it tends to be the same thing both times.
Yeah, click on the word longsword where you did your to do your damage.
That's to hit. That's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I was doing too. Click the word.
Click the word there
Click-
on the.
Click 2d6 plus whatever.
Okay, I'm not sure I understand.
Is there a longsword in your inventory there?
There's a longsword, and I click that to roll to hit. And then
On the area where it's showing your dice roll where it says longsword two-handed +5, click on that.
Well, it's in his inventory, not on his actions and attacks.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Do you have it? Like,
it's in my attacks and spell casting.
well, then
I
it should
can-
be damage type.
I can click it if
Yeah.
you want me
I
to.
clicked the damage type, and that's the 6s that came
There
up.
you go.
There you go.
I don't know why it came up different.
Yeah, if you hover over the 6, you can see it rolled a d20 and you roll a 1.
Twice. Double.
3 times.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Get those
So-
words out of here.
Get them out of the system now.
Get that
It should have been a
algorithm.
halfling.
Technically, if we go back up to the 24, that wasn't the 24 damage you did the first time was. But it's okay. We're all learning D20 again.
Yeah.
So you slash in, and this animal is making guttural noises. It is on the very verge of death. Um, but
The very verge.
it is hanging in there. With that, do you have anything else you want to do?
No, I guess I'm going to stay right here and growl at him.
Okay. So it will now take its turn. It will try to attack Weiwei. It'll try a bite attack. A 19 plus 5.
Come on, Weiwei.
Oh, come on, hang in there.
So that's
No, he's raging now. We're good for the bite attack.
9. So that would be 4 damage, and then the snakes are going to try to attack.
Oh boy.
That's a nat 20.
Oh,
Nat 20. Oh my gosh.
Come on, roll low. Roll low.
time for him to go away.
So that is and just so that you guys know, this is the first crit that we've had, I think. The way that we're going to do crits is, and this isn't good this time, but for you guys it will be in the future. If you crit on an attack roll, you automatically get the maximum damage for the first roll, and then you roll the additional. That way you don't crit and get less than you would with a normal attack.
Nice.
Okay,
So
cool.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a house rule that I
like
so
it, yeah. Max damage plus whatever's added on.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
Got it.
And so that is
That's a good one. I like that.
that's 5 more piercing damage, and
Halved.
no, that's halved.
Oh, okay.
It was 11. Oh, good. They rolled lots of ones. But this isn't halved. So it's already 21 right off the bat. So he's already down. But 21, 30,
Sorry, Ty. I'm about to save him again.
41, 42, 43, 44, 46.
Yeesh.
46 points of damage. So
Holy moly!
Yikes.
Weiwei is down.
Yeah. Almost fell, but not quite.
Wow.
The spectral guardians that was protecting the rest of the group kind of absorb back into and become part of his tribal tattoos again. The jaguar creature is going to stay right where it is, and we'll go to Valrun.
Is it hot in this place?
Yes, like the
So
sun
we're
is
all
beating
sweating?
down. It's very humid. You're in a tropical climate, you can tell.
I turned to Ty as like I was going to run for him, and I hear Weiwei go down, and I look to my side, and then I unsheath my scimitar. At the same time, sweat just glistens like a stream. And then I charge the beast and plunge my scimitar, defeating it.
Okay,
Here we go, guys.
go ahead.
We're gonna win this crowd over.
Whenever Weiwei goes down, you hear a and then you start to make a mad dash.
Okay, here
Are they not entertained?
we go.
They seem to be very entertained.
There's a 13 hit.
Yes, barely.
Barely hits. So that's 8 slashing
Barely.
damage right across his throat.
Eight slashing damage. And how would you like to do this?
Oh, how I would love to do this. So, what I do as I gleam my sword and the sweat flies, I jump and I just leap off of Wei, and I just jump and right down the back of his neck, giving him a warrior's death. Not Wei, the Chimera.
Okay.
And then as it drops down, I just kind of bring it down to sever his spine, and then bring my sheath out, and I go. I do like a little swirly with my for the blood to fling away. Sorry, Maximillian, you're just getting sprayed with blood right now.
Ty,
Okay.
Ty, you get hit with blood and it wakes you up.
And you wonder why I keep my distance with my bow.
And then, as I sheath my sword, Druidcraft rose petals all over this chimera to give it my version of respect and honor to the beast.
Okay.
And I want to eat its heart. Not right now, but
Save it for later.
right. I'm gonna ask. Never mind. Go ahead. That's fine.
Roll a performance check.
Do
I'm gonna get up,
Do I
spread
have
some of the
advantage
blood
because I've already
with
won the
my
crowd?
fist.
Maybe.
I'll give you advantage.
Yes. Okay, so that is a 5 and a 10 with a +5. Is it a +5?
So 15.
No, that's a 12.
12. You hear as Wei Wei goes down, and then it gets like eerily quiet. And then they watch as you bring out your scimitar and you slice it and you do your twirl, put it back in, the flowers grow, and there's just the entire crowd is not. There are still some of those people that go to the baseball games and look at their cell phone the entire time. There's still some people in the stadium like
But
that.
I won some people over.
But a majority of the crowd, there's this eerie silence, and then all of a sudden it goes,
Nice.
While he's getting the accolades to the crowd, I'm going to walk over to Wei Wei and lay hands. I give him 5 hit points.
Yeah.
I spread blood on my hands, and I'm like, good effort, Steve. Good
Yeah.
effort.
Enoch comes over to join the crowd. He's gonna try to recover as many of his arrows that he can.
okay. I'll just say that because you.
Is it the usual half?
Sure, yeah.
Now I'm
that'll
gonna
work.
wake up Ty.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up with
He woke up with the
you sprayed me with
splattering of blood.
Also, I would like to go up to the snakeheads to see if I can harvest any venom off of it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Are you proficient in survival?
I have +1 to survival. I got +2 to nature. But I don't have proficiency in it.
Okay. Just do a
+5. If you need my help.
I'll say a straight roll unless Val is like standing behind you telling you what to do every step of the way. Then you can have advantage.
How about I roll? I have a +5. What do you think?
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Do I get advantage because he's helping?
Yeah. We'll do a Marvel team up on it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 15.
15.
Yeah.
I will say that you are able to recover 2 venom sacks.
Okay.
So
Can I keep a
can
tooth?
yeah, you can grab a fang as well.
Okay.
Anybody else that wants to, you don't have to roll for that. You can just go and
I'll tell
grab
you
it.
what. Yeah, I'll get a fang for everybody for our group, kind of like trophies.
Okay.
Okay.
Trying to figure out how this.
And then, of course, I take a lap around the arena.
Okay. So you're doing your victory lap. You're doing a burnout
Yeah.
on
Then I
the Daytona
bow.
500
Then I bow
sign,
down to Syndra.
and she bows to you. And the announcer comes out and says, "What a show, ladies and gentlemen! How about that? One last round of applause.
Of applause.
Applause.
Yes, applause, everybody. I love it.
You guys are ushered back into the to the holding cell. There you meet Syndra. We'll say that Wei Wei is kind of hobbling along, and
I'll
he
cast Cure Wounds on him real quick.
okay. So
It's my last
and
spell.
okay.
4 points.
Okay, so he's at 11, or no, sorry, 9. So he makes his way back in, and you're met there by Syndra, and she says, "Well, boys, that was a fine show. You had me there at the beginning. I was wondering why you guys got close enough to be hit with its sleep breath, but then again, maybe you didn't know that was going to happen."
I
And
masterfully breathed it all in so nobody else got hit, except for Maximillian.
you are a true gentleman, stepping in front of that
Thank
bus
you. Thank you.
for everybody else, except for Maximilian, who also breathed it in.
Yeah, he was closer, so I couldn't really breathe it in enough.
That's true. Yeah. I hope this is a lesson to you, Ty. Don't vape, especially not cotton candy. So she kind of like indulges in Ty for a minute about all that he did, and she looks at you and she says, "I have arranged to have you released. You kept up your end of the bargain. I tend to keep up my end." And she says, "With that being said, here is the payment up front that I talked to you about previously." And so she gives whoever's there, she gives you a bag of gold. There's 50 gold for each of you. Inside, you can divvy it up or keep it all, whatever you'd like to do. But she says, once you come out and see the city proper, and so all of your stuff is given back to you. The door opens up. Everything has already been taken care of. She's already bought and paid for you, and she leads you through the streets, and you guys exit the Coliseum there. It will put you guys back on the map, and you exit the Coliseum, and you start walking. And what you notice is this is a very tropical place. There are like palm trees, there's parrots, there's monkeys, there's all different kinds of just vibrant colored flowers, and the colors, that vibrant just culture has seeped in from the jungle into the way of life. And so what in other cities, the tents and the overhangs for the shops and stuff that would normally just be like a burlap or a gray or a brown, they are just all different color of vibrant yellows and reds and blues. And you leave the Coliseum down here, and you make your way north, um, and you kind of find yourself right in this general area, um,
Okay.
with this kind of three-sided building, and you walk through vendors and everything. You see people uh, walking through with dinosaurs as beasts of burden, and they've got packs of apples and all different types of fruits on them. And but you go and you find your way to this building, and she says, "I have a meeting with one of the princes um, that are over this land. I hope to get some information and
Oh, okay.
be able
He's a
to relate.
he's
Be
a
able to.
prince.
Well, it's there's they're called princes and princesses, but they're really um, they're the merchant prince
Ah,
and princesses, and so each of them are over different uh, different parts of the trade, and so there are 7 of the merchant princes, and she says she is on her way to talk to uh, Wakanga, who is the prince over magical items and different types of lore and books and knowledge. And so, any kind of magical items that come in, any kind of magical dealings, like if they have to send wizards out to do something, he oversees that. But she says that she's going to go and talk with Wakanga and try to get some information from him. She says, "You're more than welcome to join me or to explore the city." She says that down uh, in the merchant ward, which is north east of where you are now, there's a inn um, that she is staying at, and it's called uh, Kaya's House of Repose. Kaya's House of Repose. She says, "Meet me if you're more than welcome to come and talk to Wakanga, or you can look about the city. But I will come back and give you the information one way or another at the inn later on this evening." She says, "What would you like to sightsee? Do you have some things that you'd like to? You've got 50 gold. Is it burning a hole in your pocket? Or are you more worried about answers?"
Enoch would like to search through the market area that he wants to get a second short sword.
Okay.
I'll stay with
Because
Cedric.
eventually when he levels up, he's going to be a two-handed fighter, so he's going to need a second sword for that.
Okay.
I will also prepare for like equipment and try to look for some goods.
Okay. We're splitting the party. This sounds interesting.
I want answers.
Okay, Maximillian.
I'm kind of wanting to see if I can find a good shield.
Okay.
I will meet up with you later, boys.
And Weiwei accompanies the three gentlemen into the marketplace, and he he shows you the different stores that you need to go to find different items that you need. And if you will, we'll just use the standard player's handbook.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Do we need a potty break?
Please.
Okay. We'll say that as they're browsing, like the males at Target, we'll kind of sit out in the car and take a break for just a second, and so we'll have a brief intermission.
All right.
All right. Welcome back. We have taken care of some business, and we have waited patiently in the Target parking lot, and we're ready to get going. We've got some shopping to do. We'll go ahead and get that out of the way, and you just let me know if you wanna have this full conversation. We'll have a full conversation. If you wanna just get your stuff and get out, we can do that too. But Wayway kind of leads you into where the merchandise is. And Enoch, you said you were looking for a short sword.
Mhm.
So the first thing, Wayway kind of takes you next to a weaponsmith. You see some larger great axes. You see some hand axes. You see some pikes. You see some different swords, some scimitars, some daggers. I mean, it looks like he knows what he's doing, and he can kind of run the gamut of whatever you need.
Yeah. He's pretty much just looking for a short sword because he wants to do two-handed fighting.
Okay.
So he's already has one, but he needs a second.
Okay, so Dorf comes out and shows you what he has. He's got some older short swords that have kind of just been in stock longer. Got a little rust around the edges. He says he'll sell those for 8, or he's got a bright, shiny new one for 10. He says, up to you. 10 gold.
He'll go after. He'll go for the shiny.
Okay, so 10 gold.
Mm-hmm.
You can add a short sword.
Okay.
Right next to this Dorf's shop is his brother, Dorf number 2.
Dusseldorf, right?
Yeah, Dusseldorf. And it looks like he has some shields, some plate, just a couple of plate. He has some ring mail, some scale mail. He's got an assortment. It looks like he runs the gamut too, but looks like some of his stuff might be a little more pricey. He does have a shield, and so
does it just have the one style of shield, or is there anything more ornate?
What are you looking for?
Maybe something with a shield that has maybe some sort of symbol on the front, maybe something like a lion head, or maybe wings or something, or maybe something holy looking.
He's got one with a dragon's head on it. He has not a lion's face, but like the iconic lion standing on his back 2 paws with his front 2 paws kind of out.
Okay.
If you're into that, but he says for these are going to be 10 gold for an extra 5. He can make what you want.
All right. How long will it take you to make?
You guys talk. He can kind of take something that he's already working with, make it look like a lion's head, if that's something that you're wanting. And for the extra 5 gold, he'll work on it exclusively today. So tomorrow morning, he should have it finished.
Okay, I'd like that then.
Okay. So 15 golds. You can swing back by tomorrow morning, grab it. Ty, what would you like?
I want to see if I can find some like gauntlets with like climbing claws on them, since we're gonna be in the jungle. Maybe.
Nice.
Okay. Let's see. Weiwei kind of leads you away from like so much the weaponsmith, and kind of takes you over to another vendor. Y'all go inside of this big tent that's set up, and he talks to the guy behind the desk. Y'all go to this back corner. He takes out this box. It's got dust all over it. He kind of blows the dust off. He opens it up, and got some. They're like they've got a layer of cloth, but they've got some leather buckles that kind of go around up your forearm, around your hand, and on the palms they've got some curled spikes, and on the back of the hand, not on the knuckles but the back of the hand, you kind of got some metal guards there. And he asks, is this kind of what you're looking for?
Yeah. How much will they run me?
He says, well, these were my great grandmother's. She was a lumberjack in the jungle. But I will let you have them for, say, 15 gold pieces.
Can I insight check that?
You want to see if his grandma was a lumberjack?
Yeah, if he's telling the truth.
Okay, go ahead. Roll inside.
Okay.
Just a schemer.
$22.
So, you take a good look at him, and these are not his. These aren't heirlooms. These were something that he got off of a monk. Actually, it was traded back into him from somebody that recovered some goods from the jungle. And so this is basically treasure that they found, they brought back. They needed some coin, and nobody's had a use for them. And so they've kind of just been sitting on the shelf. He's looking to get rid of them, but he wants to get some money from you.
Look, I'm sure your grandmother would like them to go to a good place, and it seems nobody else wants them. So, how about 5 gold?
He says, but my grandmother always told me to know what you have is what it's worth, and never give it away for nothing. That's what she'd say to me every day as I was washing my face, getting ready to go to school. So, how about we settle at 10?
Okay, that's fine. 10 gold.
He says, now, he pulls you in close. He says, take good care of my grandmothers. Claus, I will be watching for you. And you leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enoch would then turn to Wei and ask if there's a Fletcher here in the market square. He might want to beef up his arrow supply.
Be right back.
Oh, sure, yeah. It's in that same store with grandma's grandma's stuff.
That one was a Fletcher and a lumberjack.
Well, she was a very talented woman.
Different grandmother.
She was also a grandmother, and she raised me as a child. Yes. Let's see. I don't know how much. Arrows are off the top of my.
I think a quiver is a gold. But,
What we'll just say this: whatever you would pay in the player's handbook.
One set of 20 is 1 gold.
Okay.
Okay. He'll get another batch of 20.
Okay, so that'd be 1 gold.
Okay, got it.
Wei asks, is there anything else that you guys would like to do while we're here? Anything else you need? Bananas?
I think I'm pretty much stocked up with what I need.
Okay.
But thank you.
Wei takes you out a different way than what you came in, and so you guys came in from the south and kind of worked your way through. You went to a couple different places wherever you needed, and then he keeps going. You came from the south. You're going north. You kept going north. You keep going north, and then there's a huge wall with arches. You're on the level of where the arches, you would go underneath this bridge with an arch, and as you guys are walking through, you see these huge triceratops and apatosaurus and T-Rexes, these huge dinosaurs with people sitting on the back of them, just run on the top of this bridge, and they're running along as fast as they can, and there's different people that are cheering and kind of going along. You see they go by, and you just see them go by, and then they keep going along this bridge, and Wei sees you guys take stock of that, and he says, "Oh, has no one told you the daily dinosaur races that we have here in the port? It's a good sport. You can win some money at it if you know how to play the game."
Sounds interesting.
I'm not much of a gambler.
If we'll say that Wei kind of leads you back to the inn. We'll cut over to Syndra and Val. You guys enter into that three. It's basically 3-sided house. It's got 3 extensions on either side. One is, or 2 are extended a little bit further than the third. It's got the 7 quarters for the 7 prince and princesses of, and so you make your way up to, you just following after Syndrome. You pass by these different people going in and out with scrolls tucked underneath their arm. There's some people that have bags, what you would assume to be goods or spices or diamonds or gold. You don't know. There's different, look like bounty hunter type or guard, maybe bouncer type individuals that are kind of walking about. You can peek in to some of the different wings as you kind of walk through this main entranceway. Look down one wing and you see some snake statues. You look down another wing and you see some diamond encrusted golden artwork along the wall as you go down, and you keep following Syndra along, and she sits down with Wakanga. Wakanga is a male, very dark complected. He's got a dark black beard. He's got it braided and has the golden clamps that kind of adorn it like jewelry. He's got earrings in his ear, and he is sitting on this large gold satin pillow inside of his room, and Cinder goes to the door. There's a guard at the door. She speaks to the guard, tells him, we're here with official business. To Wakanga, states who she is. Before she gets done talking to the guard, Wakanga opens his eyes. He was trancing. Opens his eyes and he says, "Oh, Syndra, so good of you to come. Won't you come on in? It's been so long. I wish it was on better circumstances." And she walks in and she says, "Oh, this is a adventurer that I have that I've saved from the Colosseum, and he's kind of taken a fancy to me, I think." And cuts over her eyes over at Val, and he says, I was just here hoping that you kind of gathered some information about this death curse." And he says, "Oh yes, come sit." And there's some pillows that are brought out. There's some drinks that are brought out by different people inside. They're paid. This is not like there's no slave labor or anything. They're all paid servants, and brought in. Pillows are brought in. You sit down on the pillow, and he says, "My dear Syndra, it hurts me to see you this way. Has any of the things that we talked about earlier, have any of those relieved any of the symptoms whatsoever?" She says, "No." She says, I've tried home remedies. I've tried alchemical potions and different. She's like, it just doesn't work. I don't know. I'm at an end. I'm hoping that you have some information for us." And Wakanga says, "Are we okay to speak in front of your friend?" And he looks over at you, Val.
And I say, I assure you, what is said in this room, with honor to Weiwei and to Syndra, for as you can see, Syndra has already given everything she has. She has made, I don't know how, I wish I could learn, but she's already given the ultimate sacrifice, as you can see, and was brought back to life. I'm assuming that's right.
Mm-hmm, yeah, she was brought back to life,
Yeah.
and so now she has that curse.
Right. And so, however that happened, I'm not sure, but I'm here to help right what has been done wrong, as far as bringing our souls back to us.
He says, what, Val was it?
Yes.
Valrune?
Valrune.
He says, we do not, we are not simply made of flesh and blood, but we do have a soul. And as of right now, your soul is still sticking with you, and mine is still sticking with me. Once we breathe our last breath, the soul and the body are separated, and the the ancients speak of the soul drifting off and finding residence somewhere else. Says, but you see, Sindra here. Oh, I've known Sindra for a long time. She was an adventurer once. She had a spark of any adventurer. She was wild in the eyes, and if you've taken a liking to her now, you should have seen her then. And he kind of chuckles. He says, but she got in over her head and got hurt, and luckily I was there to bring her back. I know I dabble in different things and know a little magic, maybe that I shouldn't even know, but I do. But I brought her back. But you see, right now, Sindra, her soul and her body are fighting each other because her soul wants to leave, but her flesh wants it to stay. And there's this internal battle going on, and soon one will win.
Is that
We believe. Oh, go ahead.
is that the reason for her decay?
Yes, we believe that this death curse is caused uh, by the soul, the struggle of the soul, especially those that have been lost and then returned. It's like if you break a sword and you try to mend it, unless it's forged by the elves for the king of Gondor, it usually doesn't stay back together again. It's weak at that moment where the break happened. And so, like that shattered sword, she too is brittle at the point where her soul and her body meets.
Can this be fixed?
Wakanga puts his fingers on his temples and says, "We believe that there is something that is linking this curse to our land. That's why Sindra came here. Isn't that right, Sindra?" And he says, "Oh, yes. My home is normally in Waterdeep, but I got word that there was something happening, something occurring here in Chult that may possibly lead to answers for this." Wakanga picks back up and he says, "We believe that it has something to do with a lost city in the jungle. There is something going on. There's been a stirring of arcane presence. There's been a stirring of a sense of arcane rituals. But we believe that it's ultimately at the lost city of Omu, O-M-U, Omu." Says the only problem is that there is no one here in the city that knows where that location is. He says, but I do have a slight shred of hope. And he reaches underneath and he takes out a book. He says, "This is a wizard's journal. It was brought to me, recovered near the ancient city of Vorn, Vorn, Vorn. He was on an expedition trying to find Omu. He didn't find it, but he got pretty close. And if you are going to be the team that she sends out, I believe you need to have it." And he gives you this wizard's journal. And In the journal, it describes a wizard's exploration of various places in Cholt, but is not detailed enough to locate them on a map. The unnamed author does, however, make mention of his traveling companion, a shield guardian named Vorn, Vorn. Um, he then takes out a map, a rough map. I'll give this to you in a minute. And he places the map down, takes out a quill, and he marks an X on the map. The map clearly has the port. It's got a little bit of the jungle around the port located out, hashed out. There's 2 rivers that come out of the city, go downstream, down towards down south. Vorn is towards the west of the port city.
Okay.
He marks an X, rolls it up, and gives it to you. And he says, This is all that I have to offer to you. My hope is that you can take this and find out what's going on and fix this war between flesh and soul.
This is where we will start. And this is where we will put right what was wrong. And Sindra, we will not delay in our finding of the truth and fixing this.
She says, thank you. I appreciate that. She says, I assume that you can take this information and these instruments back to your friends at the inn.
Yes.
And tell them what you have heard here.
Of course, yes. Quick question. Do you suggest anything that we take with us? For we are unfamiliar with these lands. Is there certain potions or certain resistances we should be trying to gain as we travel through these jungles?
Wakanga strokes his braided beard for a minute. He says, yes, there are many dangers out there. The number of creatures and plants that could take your life are innumerable. I don't have time to talk to you about all of them, but I will give you a few pointers, things to take into consideration. It says the water out of the streams and out of the rivers in the jungle are contaminated. Just take with you something that is able to gather water for you daily, for you and for your company, because you will not be able to drink the water out of the streams, out of the ponds, unless you boil it. There are throat leeches, which sound just as bad as what they
sounds like.
Yeah. Says so. They sell rain catchers in the marketplace. They are needed by all people who explore the jungle. The rainwater is safe to drink, so you can catch it, drink it, stay hydrated.
I have found out
Second,
that it is okay. During our time as slaves, I was admiring the weather from last night and tasted your rain, and it tastes pure.
it is very pure, like Aquafina.
Ah, the ancient town of Aquafina.
Yes. Second thing to be wary of is the bugs of our fair jungle.
Oh, really?
Yes, the the bugs of our fair jungle can give you the shiver sickness, and so if you travel into the jungle, you might want to buy some bug repellent.
I will. What about poison? Should we take some resistance to poison with us?
That might help you. Just know that you're far more likely to get bitten by the insects than you are.
Okay.
But if you want to speak to Kewathi, one of our princesses, she deals with the insect repellent.
I will post haste go to Kawathi whenever I get your leave.
Lastly, beware of the blue mist. It will bring in the monkey madness.
Hold on. The blue mist. Monkey madness.
The monkey madness.
Please, what is monkey madness?
Let's see.
I've never heard of such a thing, and I'm a man of nature.
Let's see if I had it pulled up. Oh, excuse me. I called it monkey madness. It's mad monkey fever.
Mad monkey fever, of course.
Sorry, we Chiltons call it monkey madness.
Mad monkey fever. All right.
If you become infected with the mad monkey fever, you gain a random form of long-term madness, a roll on the long-term madness table in chapter 8. It manifests for 1d6 number of hours after the infection, and it lasts 1d10 times 10 hours. And so examples would be the character feels compelled to repeat a specific activity over and over again, such as washing hands, touching your nose, praying, or counting coins. Characters experience vivid hallucinations and have disadvantages on ability checks. Characters fall unconscious and no amount of jostling or damage can wake them. Let's see.
I'm looking forward to it.
So,
how do you get the monkey madness? By the blue mist?
You breathe in the blue mist.
Okay, I will definitely jump into that.
Lastly, I will say this.
Experience all of nature.
You will most likely need a guide for...
I thought we had Wei.
You'll most likely need a guide for your adventure. One of our princes, Job. Job is the leader of the guides, and I'll put in a good word for him if you want to come and speak to him once you have relayed all this information to your group. Yes, and you are ready to go.
Thank you very much, Master Kawanga. Or Wakanga, sorry.
It's Wakanga and Kawanga. So.
Got it. Wakanga.
Is there anything else, my adventuring friend?
Once we do find out what's causing this, is there a... What do you expect us to do?
Whatever has been started, you must stop it. Whatever has been turned on must be turned off. whatever has been created must be destroyed.
I see. Well, let's waste no more time, for the people are suffering. My lady, Wei Wei,
Wei Wei's with the other guys.
we will meet. Oh, that's right. My lady Cinder.
Who is this Wei Wei person he keeps talking? Does he have an imaginary friend?
The blue mist has already taken over. Oh, the blue mist. Yes, I took a hit of that on the way here.
That was not the smoke that came out of the Jaguar.
No, I'll bow and Cinder. I'll hold her hand a little bit longer and just say, and put my hand over the top of it and say, we will restore your soul to your body where there will be no more conflict. For I swear it, you will be whole again. And I turn and leave like a man. Like a boss.
Okay. She just looks over at Wakanga, and Wakanga looks over at her. And as you start to leave, she just says, "Just let him have this. Just let him have this." and you walk out.
Walk out and then go to Kawathi and to get some insect repellent.
Okay. We will
RP that at all.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll end our session right here. And we will pick up with you guys all back at the inn. We will do next episode. We'll do a review, and it'll basically be like me telling them, you telling them what's going on, so everybody can be on the same page, and we'll start from there.
Alrighty.
All right.
Sounds good.
Wonderful. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Fun. Glad to be back.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of yourselves, everybody.
Yep.
God bless.